hours will be between noon and 4 p.m. Artists stationed along Brady Street sidewalks will create and sell their art amidst a relaxed atmosphere and are encouraged to grab a meal or a drink. There will also be activities for children as well. For more details on the Brady Street Art Walk, you can visit bradystreet.org. This was the news update on 1017 The Truth. The Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next here on the new 1017 The Truth.
Bringing you his authentic perspectives on important topics.
They live in suburbs together. They live in the city together. They hang out together, all in the same family. We're the only idiots that fight because we want our voice to only be on one side. Like, does that even make any sense? And when the side loses, you lose everything. They, on the other hand, have a voice no matter what because somebody that looks like them is always in control.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point.
Well, it's just a skewed system.
Of course it is.
It's a lot of judgment.
But answer my question, though. Should we let people go? Should we let people go? Like, let's just forget about bail altogether. And if your neighbor commits a homicide and kills people up, if you kill people and they next to you and you just let them come back and live right next to you, they can live upstairs from you. Let them come in your house.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point. This is the best radio show in the state of Wisconsin. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth and The Truth app.
Now, he's the mayor of the city of Milwaukee. He's a young man. Give him a chance. I only complain about things that I care about. What I want you to do is pretend like I'm in St. Louis. And all I'm asking the mayor and the Common Council president and the Common Council, show me.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Dr. Ken Harris.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. Y'all see them strange people over there? Yeah. Strange people looking in the fishbowl in the studio. Yeah. Hey. How are you? Yeah. I would say something, but I can't because it would just come out wrong. I'll have to tell you during the break because, yeah, it won't. I can't whisper it because I'm live on LinkedIn and they'll hear me. They won't hear me, but anyway. 833-212-1017 is the number. All right, so I got a question. Today is June 14th, 2023. How do you feel about Black Lives Matter? Does anybody actually even care about Black Lives Matter? There's a story on CNN that says support for Black Lives Matter movement has dropped since 2020, report says. The Black Lives Matter movement, this is from CNN.com. The Black Lives Matter movement has lost support among Americans in the past 3 years, according to a new study released by the Pew Research Center. Pew found that 51% of Americans say they strongly or somewhat support Black Lives Matter movement. That's down from nearly what percentage? 70%. 70% of Americans who expressed support for the movement in the aftermath of the 2020 killing of George Floyd, and 56% last year, the center said. The study indicates the decrease is mostly as a result of a declining share of white adults who say they support the movement. The overall number of Black and Hispanic adults who express support have stayed about the same in the past year, according to Pew. Does it matter that white people support Black Lives Matter? Well, this says 81% of Black adults say they support the movement, while 63% of Asian adults and 61% of Hispanics said the same, compared to 42% of white adults, the study shows. So here's my issue with this study. There is a significant difference between the Black Lives Matter movement and the Black Lives Matter organization. I think if you look at how America has been the last 400 some odd years, I think you would agree that there should be support for the Black Lives Matter movement. The organization, I have to personally say not so much. But when asked which words they believe describe the movement, about a third of Americans said the term dangerous, divisive, describes it extremely or very well, the study shows. And so that shows me that whites are confusing the movement with the organization. They go on to say, but there are significant differences among race and ethnic groups. White adults were more likely to say the words dangerous and divisive, describing the Black Lives Matter movement extremely or very well than other groups. 50% of black adults say the word dangerous doesn't describe the movement too well or at all well, the study shows. Now, Black, Hispanic, and Asian adults are all more likely than whites to say the word empowering describes the movement extremely or very well. This is according to Pew Research Center. But overall, about a third or 34% of the same said the same about the word divisive. So adults younger than 30 were more than likely than those in other age groups to support the movement. And the study also indicates a significant division among what? Political ideology. 84% of Democrats and Democratic leaners support Black Lives Matter movement compared to 82% of Republicans and Republican leaners who said they oppose it, the study shows. I'm interested in knowing, had you asked them, do you support the Black Lives Matter organization? I believe you would have had a completely different outcome in Black, Hispanic, and Asian participants. Americans also expressed their views on the movement, the impact on several issues. The survey shows 32% of adults said the movement has been highly effective at bringing attention to racism against black people. Smaller shares of U.S. adults said the movement had a similar effect on increasing police accountability, 14%, improving the lives of black people, 8%, and at improving race relations, 7%. This is all according to the Pew Research Center. My issue, it seems like the only people that got improved were the women who took over the movement from the founder and took in all the money and bought the mansions and spent the money. So what do we ask behind that? What do we discuss behind that? The findings are based on a survey conducted April 10th through the 16th among a randomly selected sample of 5,073 adults in the U.S. And so when you look at it, you have to recognize there's a distinct difference. First of all, the study is flawed because it mixed components of the movement and the organization. And many of the negative things that came out of Black Lives Matter came from the organization and things they said, things they did, espousing that marriage is a white European construct and that it shouldn't be. And many of those things were taken off of their website because they actually go against what black people in America support and believe. Family, homes, marriage, all those things. And so it's unfortunate, but when you start to infuse negativity and apply it to the movement, which did some significant things to bring about change in America, but can you equate that to the organization that took money and didn't give a lot of money to any of the organizations that needed support? And so now we live in a place where we have to look at each other and wonder as crime breaks out in the city like it does here in Milwaukee, as black on black crime is becoming having such a deleterious effect on us, we have to ask ourselves, when you read the news in the morning, do black lives still matter?
And that is Dr. Ken's Truth on the new 1017 The Truth.
This is 1017 The Truth's Dr. Ken Harris, and the time is now, Milwaukee. You know, perspective is essential. What I found is the news behind the news is more important. I want you to leave my show with a sense of knowing what was missing that adds depth to the conversation. Tune in Monday through Friday, 4 to 6 p.m. on the new 1017 The Truth, the Truth app, or 1017thetruth.com.
June is National Home Ownership Month, and only 25% of African Americans in the city of Milwaukee own their homes, despite the fact that we make up 40% of the population. At the core mission of National Home Ownership Month is the belief that every person deserves the chance to live with security, dignity, and hope in a place that they can call home. That is why the award-winning 1017 The Truth is proud to announce our first annual home buying seminar on Wednesday, June 14th, presented by Axe Housing and BMO Harris Bank. Axe Housing will have real estate agents, home buying coaches, and mortgage advisors on site to break down the home buying process step by step. Axe Housing will have professionals there who can do a soft credit pull to review your credit history and to get you pre-approved for a home loan on the spot. Yes, on the spot home loan pre-approvals. Limited spots are available, so go to 1017thetruth.com right now to secure your space. That's 1017thetruth.com to sign up for the Home Buyer Seminar on Wednesday, June 14th at 5 p.m., presented by Axe Housing and BMO Harris Bank.
Whether you're an artist playing accountant, a barista trying to be a bean counter, or a student just looking to get started, the UW Credit Union app lets you be free to be you. With free credit scores, free online bill pay, and the ability to send money to friends. Because with fewer fees, you can do more of what you love. UW Credit Union, here for every you. Join today at uwcu.org. Federally insured by NCUA.
On the Rocks Premium Cocktails offer modern twists on the classic cocktails. Developed by award-winning mixologists, the On the Rocks cocktails combine premium spirits and natural ingredients. Wherever you are, On the Rocks Premium Cocktails give you the convenience of bar-quality cocktails created with brands that you know and trust, like the Effin' Cosmopolitan and Hornitos Margarita. Pour over ice and enjoy. Please drink responsibly. On the Rocks ready-to-serve cocktails, 20 to 35% alcohol by volume.
Jump into summer fun when the Brewers take on the Pirates Friday, June 16th through Sunday the 18th. Start the adventure on Indiana Jones Day on the 17th and get a Craig Council bobble with a theme night ticket. Then, take home a Brewers bucket hat giveaway for the first 10,000 fans ages 21 and up on Father's Day, Sunday the 18th. Presented by Miller Lite. Get your seats at Brewers.com.
More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on 1017 The Truth, the Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Planning, insurance, and investing are all important aspects to building generational wealth. Dr. Ken Harris has you covered with a lesson in financial empowerment right here on the new 1017 The Truth. Financial empowerment on 1017 The Truth is presented by Northwestern Mutual. At Northwestern Mutual, their version of financial planning helps you live your dreams today.
You're listening to, there we go. Live radio. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. We are here live with Northwestern Mutual. I am kind of excited, but then I'm kind of offended because I mentioned it and then y'all did a show on it. So I was like, hey, wait a minute. Y'all trying to tell me something? Y'all trying to call me old? Y'all trying to call me old? I think y'all trying to call me old.
No, or you could just say that we're good listeners.
You're seasoned. You know, you're seasoned.
Don't use that. Cause when I'm old, Look. I use that as a weapon.
Okay.
I'm older than you. What are you doing? When I say, you got to use, because being a parent, when your children are adults, being a parent doesn't work anymore. They just look at you like, well, so am I. And then you have
You're a
zero.
consultant.
You have zero comeback. You can't even argue. We're here with the Bell and Wright Group. JB Bell and Erica Wright from Northwestern Mutual. I am excited because I literally just went through all this.
Oh,
and I remember mentioning I went to this class on Social Security. Now, I'm not taking Social Security, but I figure in about 4 years or so, I might have to take Social Security. So I'm thinking, this is pretty cool. But then as you take a step back, you hear about it, but you never really, really, really understand what Social Security is or how it works. Like, I don't think people recognize that people pay into the system and then people take out of the system. And when there's not a lot of people paying into the system, there's not a lot of money to come out. And then, so who pays more and all that and all those things. But before we even jump into that, can somebody in simplest terms tell me what is Social Security?
Sure. So Social Security, it's a benefit as you pay, as you work. We have to pay this thing called taxes. Okay, and Social Security is a benefit that as you retire, will pay out some funds to you to help you with your lifestyle.
So
okay?
Social Security is like a tax. It's not an income tax. It's a Social Security tax.
It's a source. Yeah, it's a tax that goes towards creating a source of income for you when you retire.
Okay.
Okay.
Kind of like pay as you go.
Exactly.
Right. Okay.
And it's also for people who get disabled, and then for survivorship for children.
We look at it as it is a guaranteed income stream.
Just not enough
from the government.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right.
So it's not something that was meant to foolproof retirement anyway. It's not something that you were only supposed to be living off of. Regardless, it's supposed to, be a social help. Right? We all put into the pool, and then we should all be able to take out of the pool at some point.
Was this supposed to be permanent, or was it a stopgap at some point, and it just kept going like everything else in the government?
You know what? I don't know the answer to that. I don't know. It's
been paying into
now.
it so long. It's never going away.
But I don't see it going away in our lifetime. And I know a lot of people think that. Right? We hear it all the time. Social Security ain't gonna be around.
But it's really not, unless you privatize it. But even if you privatize it, it's still gonna be around.
Yeah, it will be around. Too many people are dependent on Social Security. I think there's like 1/3 of Social Security recipients only live off of Social Security, right? Wow. And so for us to say like that would be gone, I think it's too great. It's too great. Now, will it be reduced? Yes.
Which is why I'm not taking it now. I looked at the number that I would get when I reached a certain age, and then the number that I would get now, and I went, that's like 10%.
It doesn't make sense
like,
to take it early if you don't need to.
At all. At all. And so Social Security was originally built to do what? Like, is it built to give, like you said, it's their only income, or is it built to support income?
Supplement.
Yeah, primarily it was built to take care of the elderly, if you really think about it, right? So, these things go back to like the Roosevelt days,
Right,
and it's if you turn 65, you deserve a free ride. People weren't living as long back then, right? So it was really meant first to kind of make sure that we had a benefit to take care of our most vulnerable.
Wow.
Okay, but you speed ahead to this day, yes, there are some challenges. Like, so little fun fact, when Social Security was created, about 42 people were working for every one person on benefit, right? You speed ahead to today, that number is a little under 3 people for every one person working. Wow. So clearly, yes, we do have to make some changes, but I think this idea that it's just going to go away in our lifetime, it's just not factual.
Because everybody's paying in.
Exactly. People continue to pay in. And the reality is, yes, when 2035 rolls around, there will be some alterations, but they suspect it to be around 76% of what we're kind of currently promised today will be then if they don't make any changes.
Wow.
And that's if they don't make any changes.
And they're going to make changes.
Right.
They have to.
Right.
You think about some simple changes, right? People are living longer. It may push it out further, right? Could adjust the interest rate. So there are tweaks that can be made. It's just, I just don't think the idea of it's going to go away, the effect that it will have on society. I mean, what are we going to do? Throw Granny out in the street? No.
Exactly.
Got to really think about, is that practical?
So I'm sorry, you were.
What I was just going to say is, I think the most important thing though is really understanding and having a strategy around your Social Security.
Well, that's what I was going to ask. So you talk about insurance all the time, and you talk about life insurance. So how does that intersect with Social Security?
Sure. So when we think about like how much money that you may need or you may want to like leave behind for your loved ones,
right?
We will calculate especially like if you have children, they may receive Social Security benefits while they're younger. We think about what they're going, what a spouse may be receiving from when they retire. We'll calculate that into the determining the amount of life insurance individuals need. So Social Security, it comes into play in life insurance and also in all the retirement modules that we will run, because again, those are things that you can depend on. Now, how much they will fluctuate based on person to person, but that there will be something there.
And another big key consideration for life insurance and Social Security is when you're dealing with spouses. And typically when spouses are both receiving Social Security benefits, they have to understand if one of them passes away, they're going to lose one of those benefits and they can retain the higher of the two. So sometimes even people we may structure some life insurance policies to kind of fill in the void of that loss of income when one of them passes away.
So if you make, $30,000 in Social Security and your spouse makes $40,000 in Social Security, if the spouse with the $40,000 dies, the spouse that brings in 30 can opt to take
they will get
their
the 40.
own
40.
Or they can take the 40.
Yeah, you will get the higher of the two benefits.
So do you get to choose, or they just switch it over and say, hey, here it is?
Well, you will let them know that, that person passed away, and then
so I can take like 6 months to a year before I let the federal government know you died and get some extra.
Well,
money.
I don't see why you would do that. You mean
and then,
don't
and
let
then
them
end
know
up in
at
jail,
all? Oh, you
and then I can end up in jail, and then that's not cool. That's not
fraud.
Yes, I'm not saying commit fraud.
I'm just saying, because you know how people think. Well, I could probably. No, you can't do that. And so it's very much set that when you pass away, you get the $218, $215 death benefit, but then you have to report, hey, here's the death certificate and all that, and then you're allowed to switch over and take the higher pay.
Yes, the higher of the two benefits.
Okay, I can't get both.
You were already getting the higher one. Then nothing changes for you specifically, but.
No.
I can't get both.
No fraud, man. We're not doing fraud.
I can't get both.
Okay.
I can't pretend like mama's still alive. Mama been. Oh, look, mama hasn't gone to the doctor in 15 years. Mama hasn't. Right. And and
but
so
that's important to think about though, because when you just said, that's $70,000 of income that was coming into that household, and now it's dropping down to 40.
That's
what does that
significant.
look like?
And so when you talk about retirement age, how do you figure out when to do that? That's an individual decision you have to make at 62 or 65 or 67 or what is it, 72 now for the maximum that you have to start taking payments. But
70, but 72 is when you take required minimum.
Right. So you don't. How do you figure? You actually figure that into your plan when I come see.
Absolutely.
In a Bell and Right, you sit down and go, this is your age and this is what you'll probably be paying. You have to factor that in.
Oh, yeah. We have to look at everything because you have some people that may have larger 401k plans than others, and they may, leverage some of the dollars out of there to buy them that time, because every year that you wait, essentially, you're increasing the amount of money you could receive back, right? So by delaying it. So it really is a case-by-case situation. Sometimes, for example, we may run into people who have really bad health issues, and for those people, generally speaking, we probably recommend taking it sooner than later, right? So there's so many different variables and factors that go into it.
And that's why you really need a financial professional to actually sit down with you and go through it and figure out what it is you need to do.
Yeah, going back to that analogy, I think I said it, who knows how many shows ago now, but it's like, most people would not do a 1 month vacation without putting some level of planning. Well, retirement represents a 30 to 40 year vacation. So you probably want to see somebody.
And again, before we go to break, people are living longer. Mm-hmm. So this calculation of, hey, I'm only going to live till, and then with healthcare and all those things being significantly getting better every day, this dying at, I'm going to die, your life expectancy is 72. You're sitting around
women don't die anymore either.
I know, they don't die. They just
forever,
exist forever.
And the fact of the matter is there's a lot of people that haven't saved well. So this is a significant portion of your retirement, and you do want to be strategic about how you go about it, because it's 8% each year is significant, right? If we're saying that if each year that you wait, your benefit increases by 8%, that's large, especially if you could have said, man, I'm gonna wait till 67. I'm gonna wait till 70. I can do this. It's I'm okay with what I'm doing.
Wow.
That makes a difference.
So the difference between 63 and 67 is a 32%, almost a third.
Yeah,
increase.
So it increases 8% each year.
Wow. And I'm sorry, that's compounded. So it's even more.
Let me actually.
Wow. When we go to break, she going to look into that and see.
I'll look it up.
Let's see if it's compounded or is it. Okay. Because we already know that they already know the number they're giving you.
Yes. And so that's why it's important to look at those statements.
Wow.
And you can always go out to SSA.gov and run your Social Security estimate, right? So your Social Security benefit is going to be based off of 35 years of working.
Right.
Okay. And so they're going to take your highest 30 years and then they'll do a calculation, and you'll see at full retirement age, if you're born after 1960, that's 67.
Right.
And you can see, okay, if I wait, I'm going to get this amount. If I take it early, I'll get this amount. If I take it even earlier than that, they give it to you for each year.
Right.
And you can actually see those numbers. And so I think that that's powerful. I think people should be looking at that.
But if you're working, you also have a reduction because you still have income coming in.
Oh, you saying before?
Right.
So
before 67.
So that is something to think about. If you should not take Social Security
if you're working.
If you're going to be working.
Yeah.
So it's a reduction if you make more than, it's like $19,000, I think $560.
Okay.
That your benefit will be reduced by. So you can't really make that much money if you're working before 62 and taking Social Security. So I'm like, if you're going to work, just work. Don't take Social Security.
All right. When we come back, I want to look at ways to maximize the benefit. You're listening to JB Bell and Erica Wright. I'm still stuck on the retirement age. Like every time I think about that, I just think 8% a year?
Oh, yeah. That goes up on.
And people take it at 62? And okay. All right. When we come back, we'll dig into this and look at all the things you can do to maximize your Social Security. We'll be right back.
More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
It's one of the most critically acclaimed superhero films of all time and features an Oscar and Grammy-winning soundtrack. And now you can experience Marvel Studios' Black Panther in a whole new way with the Milwaukee Symphony Orchestra as they perform Ludwig Göransson's score live to picture at the Bradley Symphony Center June 23rd through the 25th. Visit MSO.org right now to reserve your best seats or call the box office at 414-291-7605. Follow T'Challa's epic journey as he clashes against Killmonger for both peace and his rightful place on Wakanda's throne, all while surrounded by the gorgeous beauty of a former movie palace. Marvel Studios' Black Panther Score with Film runs June 23rd through the 25th only. Call for tickets 414-291-7605 or visit mso.org.
Are you or someone you know 18 or older need a driver's permit? Greater Milwaukee Urban League's free driver's permit classes can put you in the driver's seat. You'll learn the rules of the road from qualified instructors, moving you one step closer to successfully earning your driver's license permit. You may also qualify for free behind-the-wheel instruction. Classes are available in May and June. You can attend virtually or in person. Visit tmul.org for more information. That is tmul.org for more information on Greater Milwaukee Urban League's free driver permit classes.
Hi, I'm Nicole, and I lost my 10-year-old daughter, Teresa, to COVID in just a few short days. Teresa was a healthy child who loved to dance. When Teresa got sick, I didn't think it was serious until she was rushed to the hospital. COVID and flu can be serious for anyone, but they're especially dangerous for communities of color. Please get your COVID and flu vaccines and stay up to date on all immunizations, because vaccines save lives.
To learn how to protect your family, visit vaccinateyourfamily.org/learn.
They are our cuddlers and coworkers, purr machines and love bugs, and constant companions. They are our pets, our family, and they make life so much better. When we face unexpected challenges in life, so do our pets. That's why we're on a mission to support people who love their pets, and the pets who love their people, ensuring these families stay exactly where they belong, together. And you have something to offer. With an open heart and mind, there's nothing you can't do. There's no gesture too small or too big when it comes to helping. Whether donating a bag of kibble, sharing an Instagram post of a lost cat, or welcoming a foster pet into your home, every bit of kindness counts. You can help keep pets and people together. Visit petsandpeopletogether.org to learn how to be a helper in your community. This has been a public service announcement brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
94 as you're making your way out of the Marquette interchange through the Stadium interchange. We've also got some issues on 43 on the northbound side, slowing down from before Fond du Lac Avenue all the way up past Capitol Drive. We also have an incident on the ramp from Kilbourne to northbound 43 as well. It's going to be tying things up. Southbound slowing down from Fond du Lac Avenue all the way down through the Marquette. Take that back a step. It's going to be slow from Bender Road all the way down past Silver Spring. Then check out the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Tonight, a slight chance for a thunderstorm, a low of 60. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, hazy, and smoky with a high of 67 at the lake, 74 inland. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 101.7 The Truth.
This Associated Bank Sports Update on 101.7 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Brandon Snide. The Green Bay Packers will resume their mandatory minicamp this afternoon up in Green Bay. The Packers looking to lean on new leaders in 2023. You can count on Aaron Jones as being one of them.
Lead this team, be a leader, and do whatever it takes to bring this team a championship. That's the end goal, bring the title back to Lambeau.
The Packers will wrap up minicamp later today and have a team bonding event scheduled for Thursday. To the NHL, where the Las Vegas Golden Knights have clinched the franchise's first ever Stanley Cup. This coming after defeating the Florida Panthers 9-3 in Game 5. The Knights going on to win the series 4-1. This sports update is brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
You are listening to Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Planning, insurance, and investing are all important aspects to building generational wealth. Dr. Ken Harris has you covered with a lesson in financial empowerment right here on the new 101.7 The Truth. Financial empowerment on 1017 The Truth is presented by Northwestern Mutual. At Northwestern Mutual, their version of financial planning helps you live your dreams today.
And welcome back. I'm Dr. Ken Harris. I'm here with JB Bell and Erica Wright. Bell and Wright Agency, Northwestern Mutual. They can sell you pretty much anything you want within a reason. As long as they got to do with finances.
There we go.
Outside of that,
clean that up well.
you know, like a house or a car, I don't think they're going to do that. No. They might buy one from you, but I don't think they're going to sell it. And so we've been talking about Social Security in really basic, simple terms. You explain this is what Social Security is. This is what it's supposed to do, even though you said, what was the number that people live off of Social Security as their sole?
1/3 of people taking benefits.
Oh, okay.
Use Social Security as their sole income.
The average benefit is about $1,500.
It's not a lot.
A month?
Yeah.
That's like $13,000 a year.
It's real.
Interesting. And then we talked about retirement age. So you can, I think the first age, well, you could take it with disability if you're disabled, but then at any age, as long as you have work, but then you have to do it 62, 60, anytime between 62 and 67, and the percentages change up until 67 when you can take your full.
The 67 is called the full retirement.
The full retirement age, where you don't have to worry about working another job because they give you your money no matter what.
Correct. You'll get your full benefit.
I guess that's why really wealthy people die without having taken their Social Security, because like in comparison to what you get, it's not really much. But I guess every dime counts after 67.
Correct. And I don't necessarily know that, because wealthy people tend to live a little bit longer because
yes, they do.
They're healthier, and so
yes,
they will
do.
take it at 70. But they don't. If you don't need to take Social Security, it's good to delay it, right? Because you're thinking, okay, you make it to full retirement age, but then that 8% continues to grow all the way up until the age of 70. So,
especially when you think about your spouse, you know, like your spouse may not have as high a benefit as yours, so to be able to drive that up may create some peace of mind for them too.
I think my spouse might have more than me. You start thinking. So what kind of, how we talk about maximizing something, but it's fixed and you pay into it and you can't really use it till the government says you can use it. How do you maximize that? How do you maximize a Social Security benefit?
Well, one of the biggest things is really doing your best to try to find to make more money. That's one of the biggest ways. You know, let's say for example, you were to take off 4 years and make nothing, right? And that factors into your calculation of those 35 years that they're going to pull from. So one of the first things you can do right now before you even get to that stage is really try to do everything you can to secure, be gainfully employed to the best of your ability. Later on, though, when we talk about maximizing, right, the thing we've been saying over and over again is you delaying that payment out, right, for as long as possible is one of the other ways that you can maximize.
Well, how do you know? Like, see, that's what throws me for a loop. I don't know if I'm gonna live till 70 and then I'm 80 going, man, I should have took it sooner. Like, I don't know. How do you?
Well, this is where the plan comes into play. This is why you don't want to wing it, right? Because again, if we've gotten to a place where we can say take leverage monies out of a 401k plan or retirement account to buy us time until we're there, or other income streams, or let's say sometimes we see situations where because maybe the house is paid off at that point, one spouse's income may be enough to cover the bill, so they don't need to draw it. There's so many different reasons.
And as you start to get, closer and closer to those dates, then you do know, right? Or you will start to have a better picture of what's going on. From a health perspective, right? If you're healthy, if you have some health issues, things like that, then we may say, okay, you should start taking it earlier because
that'll then help you pay for things that you need.
Yes.
And you'll have the income.
Yes. And if you aren't working and if you just need that income, you definitely, let's take it at 62. But delaying is also helpful, for that spouse to have a higher benefit. So when you think about you're getting the higher of the two benefits when one passes away. Delaying the benefit of the spouse that earns more is nice because, okay, now if they pass away first, then that will be a higher benefit for that spouse versus if they did take it at 62 or even 67.
Is there an instance where the spouse passes away and didn't take Social Security? Can I, as a spouse, get their Social Security if it's higher?
So are you saying that, they didn't start the
Right.
Social Security
So
yet?
I'm
but they're
still
eligible?
working, right?
Yes.
I haven't retired. I don't have a pension or anything. I'm working. And then I pass away. My wife, who has Social Security, has worked, retired, and is on Social Security and getting a pension.
Yep, you're entitled to those benefits.
She's entitled to my benefits.
Yep.
And whichever one is higher, she gets to choose that.
Yes.
Even though I didn't
Even though
take
you
it.
didn't get to feel it, man.
Wow. They be setting women up pretty tough.
Hey, man, you could live too. It could be the other way around,
Hmm.
possibly.
I mean, and then a lot of the time, so they're entitled to that. Now if you have small children, you get a spousal benefit. If
Right.
if someone passes away,
And they get benefits
Yes.
as well. And, okay.
Yep.
833-212-1017 is the number. We've got Sherman, and he's got a question about Social Security. Go right ahead, Sherman.
How you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm all right. This is the question I have. If two people were married, a husband and wife was married, and both of them passed away before they reached the age of Social Security, where does that money go to?
in the pot for everybody else. If nobody was
The second
eligible to
question
take
is-
Social Security, so if they have children,
one.
then their children should be able to, and these are minor children. Their children receive, benefits, but if they don't have any minor children and they're older, then they weren't eligible for the Social Security anyway.
Okay, so I guess that's the reason one call is because I guess it's a lot of argument about Social Security that it's going to be running out. So if you have people paying into Social Security and they reach the age to get it but die before they get it, and they have no children or the children are too old to collect it, where does that money go to? The second question is, you have immigrants that come here and work and they pay into Social Security and they're not able to collect. Where does that money go to?
If your premise is true, the same thing. It goes into the pot and it stays there until they become a citizen or have a Social Security number identified, and they go.
And that's one of the problems that we've said about the system. It's not perfect, and unfortunately, I don't have all of those numbers, but yeah, that.
So how can something be running out when you have more people paying in than people getting out?
Because
but you don't have more people paying in, though.
You don't have more. You have less people paying in. They would have to pay more. The system isn't running out. It's just going to pay less because you have less people, if that makes sense.
That's okay. Even if that's the case, go ahead.
I was going to say, brother, so there's a study that went out recently, a survey that went out recently, and 48% of the people who are still working, they believe that Social Security will continue to provide benefits of equal value when one is given a day when they pass away. So that means you have a large amount of people that believe Social Security is just going to go away, but it's kind of unfounded if you just literally look at the data. So right now, there's still people paying into it, right? So that's going to happen. And what we just said earlier is that 76% of basically what one is promised today, we still project to be in good standing all the way into the year 2091. So this is probably not an issue that we're going to have to deal with as much in our lifetime as opposed to the next generation.
Yeah, I understand that. I was just trying to get to the, I guess, deflate the argument of people saying it's going to run out, because you have, even if you don't have more people paying in, or you have less people paying in, it's some people that won't benefit from it at all.
Yeah, it's less about it running out. It's just about the degree to which you're going to receive it at this point. I think it's probably the bigger thing.
I guess one of my biggest things is when you always have a person from the opposite side want to argue, it's this and that. A lot of people don't know that Social Security has absolutely nothing to do with the national debt.
Correct.
It's something you pay in.
That is
same as unemployment. And you have some people want to, because I'm trying to understand why take something that's not a problem to anybody else except for the people that's making it a problem.
All right. Well, thank you much. We are running on time, and I got to let you go, Sherman. If you want to call back later, feel free to do that, but we got to run and take a break. Thanks for calling. 833-212-1017 is the number. When we come back, we've got a surprise, a program we want to talk to you about. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm Dr. Ken Harris. My guests are J.B. Bell and Erica Wright, Financial Empowerment with Northwestern Mutual.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
This is 1017 The Truth, Dr. Ken Harris, and the time is now Milwaukee. For the last 3 decades, I've watched this city grow and change to a place where I'm proud to have raised my children here. Through all the greatness, I've seen us suffer as well. I'll share a perspective few can, real, authentic, and well-informed. Listen to Truth in the Afternoon with me, Dr. Ken Harris, sponsored by Concordia University, Wisconsin, every weekday from 4 to 6 p.m. on the new 1017 The Truth, Milwaukee Black Talk.
This is your Financial Empowerment Minute on the new 1017 The Truth, presented by Northwestern Mutual.
Because I got people who want to live off of $10,000 a month. And then I got people who say 4 is enough, right? Whatever it is, we want to make sure that, again, you have a plan and you know what it's going to take to get there. What resources do you have? Is it a 401k? Do you have a pension? Do you have stocks or, outside money? How are we going to fund it? Right? Because that's a big thing too. A lot of people think, okay, well, I'm just going to dump money into my 401k and build it as long as I can, and then I'll be set. But taking money out and distributing it the right way is 10 times more important than accumulating it. Because you got to think about the taxes. You got to think about a lot of other things.
Tune into The Truth every month for our financial empowerment interviews with Northwestern Mutual. This is the new 1017 The Truth Milwaukee Public School Athletic Alumni Spotlight.
Marcus Landry, Milwaukee-born, became a small forward for the NBA's New York Knicks in 2009. But before Marcus would live out his dreams, he would first have to create them. Marcus began his career at Harold Vincent High School. After graduation, Marcus left Milwaukee and traveled to the University of Wisconsin. Marcus' senior year in college would be his best year. He ended his college career with 1,114 points. This put a spotlight on Marcus, and in 2009 he was drafted by the New York Knicks. Marcus would play for the next 10 years for teams all across the globe. He accomplished being a Korean All-Star, an Italian League MVP, and an NBA D-League All-Star. Marcus Landry, always a Vincent Viking, and always MPS proud.
This has been your Milwaukee Public School Athletic Alumni Spotlight, presented by Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Ludacris. Back again. The Wisconsin State Fair welcomes Ludacris. Friday, August 11th, 7:30 p.m. at the State Fair main stage, presented by Potawatomi Casino Hotel.
Get out the way. But how low can you go?
Ludacris with special guest Simba. Reserve seats on sale now at wistatefair.com. Wisconsin State Fair, presented by U.S. Cellular. Ludacris.
On the Rocks Premium Cocktails offer modern twists on the classic cocktails. Developed by award-winning mixologists, the On the Rocks cocktails combine premium spirits and natural ingredients. Wherever you are, On the Rocks Premium Cocktails give you the convenience of bar-quality cocktails created with brands that you know and trust, like the Effin' Cosmopolitan and Hornitos Margarita. Pour over ice and enjoy. Please drink responsibly. On the Rocks ready-to-serve cocktails, 20 to 35% alcohol by volume.
More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on 1017 The Truth, the Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Financial Empowerment with Northwestern Mutual. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. JB Bell, Erica Wright, everybody's hanging out. There is a program that when I read about it, I was pretty excited about it. And which of you are going to tell me about this HBCU program?
Me. I'm going to talk a little bit about it.
Erica Wright, go ahead.
So I am excited to share, if you all haven't heard about it, but this is Northwestern Mutual's Historically Black Colleges and Universities Connection Program. And so they are providing scholarships to 9 students for their first and second year of college. And then after that, they would invite them to the internship program for their junior and senior year. Right. So the goal there is really to support emerging talent and then provide those internships and have them return to as employees after graduation.
Is it a paid internship?
I don't know. I believe it is, but I don't know for sure.
So can I sign up? Can I sign up?
Most of them
I know most of the ones that I've seen are paid.
Okay, she's not listening. Can I sign up, JB?
Did you go to? You
I'll
have
go
to qualify from going to one of the schools.
Did you get your high school
I
diploma
will go
already?
to an HBC. Yeah,
It may be a little too late.
I'll go to an HBC. I can't.
You got to be in high school.
So y'all gonna pick 9 people?
Yes. So the main
9
criteria.
random people. Yes. What's the criteria to be emerging talent?
The main criteria is that you need to be going to an HBCU and you will have graduated from one of the Northwestern Mutual Foundation schools. And so I'm going to read those schools off so you all know. So if you know students from Rufus King, Ronald Reagan, Golda Meir, Howard Fuller Academy, Kingdom Prep Lutheran, Carmen, Crystal Ray, Hmong American Peace Academy, Milwaukee Academy of Science, high schools and or College Possible Milwaukee, and Grad Plus, the Boys and Girls Club of Greater Milwaukee participants. So if you're in any one of those schools and or programs, make sure that you complete the application.
And where do I find that at?
The application, you can go to learnmore.scholarshipsapply.org/NMHBCU.
I'm mad. I ain't talking to y'all no more.
Okay? The deadline. So we got to be mindful. Y'all got to get on this now because the deadline is June 22nd, and they plan to have selected those recipients by July 24th.
So that's next Thursday.
Yes. So we got to get on it. This has been out, and so
what's the website again?
It is learnmore.scholarshipsapply.org. I'm going to do a /NMHBCU.
I'm still sad.
So
I can go back to high school and then I gotta. Man. You think they'll let somebody my age go back to?
No, this is for the kids.
It's not.
This for the kids. You talking
don't
about
wanna take away from
about extending your
y'all
Social
sure don't want to
Security.
make people feel bad.
And
you don't want to take away from the kids. You don't want to. And so those are some of the great things that Northwestern Mutual does as it relates to communities and recognizing that everybody can go to an HBCU. Like race doesn't matter, gender doesn't matter. It comes down to it's an accredited university that does great things in every community in America. And so Northwestern Mutual kind of put their money where their mouth was and said, hey, we're going to give some money to 9 students chosen, and you have to go to those schools or be in those programs. And I think the really cool thing about it is that if you're in that College Possible program, or if you're in the, all those programs with those organizations, even though you go to a different high school, you're eligible. And that's the beauty of it. Wow.
Yep.
2 years?
And then, that's what I'm saying. Your first 2 years, and then you can be invited for the internship.
Yep.
For your junior and senior year. Like that's
typically
that's nice.
a fast track to working there full time. So.
And Northwestern Mutual's internship is always a good thing to have on a resume anyway.
Rewind this part. I'm just trying to subtract age and see where I could.
I just don't think it's going to happen, Dr. King.
I'm trying. Well, thank you so very much. I do appreciate you all being here. It's important that people pay attention to what Social Security can do for them instead of always thinking. I guess he was correct. Sherman was correct in that Social Security is something that you don't lose, that it's a benefit, and you've been paying into it. Some people pay into it and never get it, and so the money's there till 2091.
Yeah.
So, yeah, those are great things, and that's why you should always be here once a month. Financial Empowerment with Northwestern Mutual is here each and every month, twice a month with Sherwin Hughes and myself, Dr. Ken Harris, right here on the new 101.7 The Truth. Thank you, Erica. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
JB,
apply for those scholarships.
JB, should I call him out? Answer your phone.
Oh, you gonna do it? I'm sorry, I got my life together. Dr. Ken Harris is in my phone right now.
All right.
Summerfest is back, and the new 101.7 The Truth has got you covered with free tickets. Tune in to Truth Be Told all week long as we will be giving away a free 4-pack of tickets to Summerfest. Yes, you heard that right. They are absolutely free. Make sure you are tuned in to 101.7 The Truth from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. so you don't miss your chance to win a free 4-pack of tickets to Milwaukee's biggest summer party on the lake. Summerfest is presented by our founding partner, American Family Insurance.
Thank you, Truth Nation. Your willingness to share your stories with our community has helped make the Tori Lowe Show a 2-time First Place Wisconsin Broadcasters Association Award winner.
Hey, I'm tapping in for the Milwaukee County Jail. Yeah, man, they treating us real bad up in here, man. I mean, they had us sleeping in feces and urine. They took the batteries from us, told us there wasn't no batteries in stock. I ain't never heard that in my life.
We do this all for you, Milwaukee. We are the award-winning 101.7 The Truth, Milwaukee Black Talk.
What is dedication?
My biggest fear in the middle of my addiction was that my kids wouldn't have a father. I overdosed on heroin, and I lived. And I started thinking, you know what? This isn't my story. My desire to change had finally outweighed my desire to stay the same. I felt powerless for so much of my life. It's important to me that my kids are empowered and truly believe that if they can think it, they can do it. I definitely had to become a better man to be a better father. For the first time, I finally feel like I'm exactly where I should be, where I want to be.
That's dedication. Visit fatherhood.gov to hear more. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those round trips that you plan in advance, which are perfect on your way there and perfect on your way back? Or those meetings with friends for which you make a group chat 3 months before so that nobody or anything is missing? Or your daughter's first birthday party. You planned it with such dedication that instead of the first, it felt like our 15s. The same way you plan each detail for those moments. Start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit. And make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make. Get started at ready.gov/plan.
Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
You're listening to the new 101.7 The Truth, founded in partnership with American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. 101.7 FM, 1510 AM, WGKB Waukesha, and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. This is your 101.7 The Truth News Update.
Hi, everyone. I'm Melanie Ricks with your news update. Milwaukee police are investigating a shooting that left a 20-year-old man dead this morning. Officials said that the shooting stemmed from a robbery near 35th and Concordia that happened around 6:40 a.m. The victim was taken to an area hospital where he died of his injuries. Milwaukee police continue to seek unknown suspects. Anyone with information is asked to contact Milwaukee police at 414-935-7360. To remain anonymous, you can call Crime Stoppers at 414-224-TIPS. The Milwaukee Night Market returns to downtown tonight for the summer. The free outdoor event puts the excitement right in the center of downtown with food trucks, local pop-up shops, and entertainment. West Wisconsin Avenue will be closed between 2nd Street and Bellar Phillips Avenue from 10 a.m. until 11 p.m. today for setup and tear down. The Milwaukee Night Market brings local, diverse artists, restaurateurs, and crafters together from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. Plus, there will be a performance in the center of the market at the top of every hour. Tonight, that includes DJ Stretch, DJ Oshi, and Bembe Drum and Dance. The night market will return to the same location on July 19th, August 16th, and September 13th this season. In a unique celebration of local talent, Milwaukee's Brady Street Business Improvement District and Brett Waterhouse of Grove Gallery have teamed up to host the Brady Street Art Walk. Scheduled for this Saturday, June 17th, the Art Walk's hours will be between noon and 4 p.m. Artists stationed along Brady Street sidewalks will create and sell their art amidst a relaxed atmosphere and are encouraged to grab a meal or a drink. There will also be activities for children as well. For more details on the Brady Street Art Walk, you can visit bradystreet.org. This was the news update on 1017 The Truth. The Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris continues next here on the new 1017 The Truth.
You are listening to Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
I'm going back to the south. I'm going back where my roots ain't watered down. Growing like a baobab tree of life on fertile ground. My ancestor put me on game. On charm, on gold chains. With my old shoe in a jail. Drip all on me. Uncle that she keep it. Hola, Donna, Stella, Sasha, Nah, Chopper, Instant. Yeah, pure ice. Bust down, flood it. On my wrist out. Going up, motherland, drip on me. Melanin, my drip is skin deep like. Motherland, drip on me. I can't forget my history, it's her story. Yeah.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. So let me go back to these. Brian said George Soros don't even care about Black Lives Matter, and he the dude who funded it. Well, why would he care? Did he ever care? They just want you to do their bidding, and then you come in, and once you do it, they cast you aside. Anyway, don't let me get started. Security Mike said, don't seem like it does, Dr. Ken. At least this younger generation of blacks don't matter a quarter. I wish it would change. What do we do? Many people won't like my answer to that, so I'm going to have to come back to that. We have this assumption, and because we're not old enough to remember, we make comments like, well, if Republicans were in charge, it's going to be terrible. But can you prove that? Can you show that? Many people can't. And so what we find is nothing changes for black people. Some things do for certain ones, and certain things don't. And if we keep looking at ourselves as one monolithic group who all has to do the same thing, we'll never win. White people don't do that. I watch them fight and bicker and do that, but there's a thread through the white community, like this secret, unspoken thing that happens. And I used to always wonder where that comes from, and it's taught. There are certain things that are taught, just like black communities. There are certain things that are taught in the black community as it relates to income, working, money, business, real estate, all those things that aren't necessarily passed on. We seem to have this mentality of competition, but there's no real competition. You're not competing with someone in buying real estate because the two of you can't own all the real estate in Milwaukee anyway. You can only function maybe, 3, 4, 6, 10, right? Unless you have a huge company. So what are you fighting about? If you're fighting about marketing, well, I have my own marketing firm and somebody else has theirs and we're competing for it. No, you're not. Find your niche, stay in your lane. Let them do the other stuff. If all you do is this, do that. Let the person do something else. Together, you'll both make money. It's just a weird concept we have. And then we keep talking about we got to do things together. And some things we do need to do together. But here's my issue. If we would raise our families together, raise them to go to school together, make sure they graduate from high school and college together, graduate from the trades together, start a business together, own real estate together, let's do that together. I'm just saying. 833-212-1017 is the number. Social Security is a source of income that only paid out 33% of your income. Well, okay. Say C-Note, are you bothered by that? Because y'all keep talking about y'all love socialism. There it is. That's the best in socialism. Everybody pays in, everybody gets something out, but nobody gets their fair share. I don't see nobody fighting and complaining about that. I'm just saying. KP said people that are self-employed paying Social Security, yes. And can you benefit from it? Yes. Yeah. Talk to a tax professional that can help you with that. Go see a competent professional. Go see a tax professional who does taxes and understands that. What you really need to do is pick up the phone and call JB Bell and Erica Wright. Bell and Wright, Northwestern Mutual. Just Google it, get their information, call them, and they'll be able to walk you through all that. I'm just saying. 833-212-1017 is the number. I'm debating whether or not I'm going to do my top 5 at 5 because there is absolutely so much stuff. You know I'm doing my top 5 at 5, right? There's so much stuff going on today that and then there's some stuff I'm just tired of talking about because, it's just sometimes you want to take a breather. And for those of you that are here, I am taking some much needed time off. So this will be my last day this week. And then we've got a number of folks coming in. Bailey Coleman will be in, and I think eventually Jason Fields, and we've got a couple of teammates coming in, helping out and doing stuff. And so it'll be a great time. I'm excited. That's why you see me dressed the way I'm dressed now, in my National African American Museum of History and Culture hoodie, some jeans, some tennies, and I'm out. I'm going to have some fun and get rest and relaxation. Right? 833-212-1017 is the number. C-Note, before I get to my top 5 at 5, said, no, I'm not worried about it. It should be your only source of income during retirement. No, it shouldn't. Oh, it shouldn't. Right, it shouldn't. And so that's one of the things that we need to, which is why we do the financial empowerment, is to help people understand places like Northwestern Mutual can actually help you figure all that stuff out and how it'll affect your plan and your future and your living and all that, and how it'll affect your death. How to put things in place. Yeah. Nikki said, I'm vending at the night market. You don't want no problems, do you, Ben? You getting called out? You getting called out, Ben? You getting called out, Ben? 833-212-1017 number
5.
So if you haven't been listening recently, there's a breaking news story that authorities are responding and have responded to a fatal small plane crash this morning in Watertown. They said that the airplane had taken off from Watertown Municipal Airport, and there were small fires around the crash site. Fires were extinguished by fire crews, and the crash is being investigated by the Federal Aviation Administration, National Transportation Safety Board. They did say that there were fatalities in the crash, so they'll be updating that a little bit later as we go through the day. So make sure that you're listening right here.
Number 4.
I don't know how to read this, Ben. It's kind of strange, but I thought I'd read it anyway because when I read it, people looked at me like, wait, where? Brookfield police said they arrested 2 teenagers and 2 adults following several physical altercations at the St. John Vianney, I hope I'm saying that right, festival in Brookfield. Church festival, y'all. According to a news release, officers arrested a 14-year-old, a 15-year-old, and a 20-year-old and 21-year-old man. They said 2 officers were injured while making the arrest. The release said 1 officer had been taken to a hospital and where he was treated and released, and the 2nd officer sought medical treatment the next day. It's unclear the extent of the officer's injuries, but police closed the Midway area of the festival early on Saturday in the interest of preserving public peace and safety. And I'm trying to wonder what's going on at church festivals that we shutting them down now. Now, granted, I've gone to my share of church festivals where there was the fight in Milwaukee, but that one kind of threw me for a loop. I was a little taken aback by that one. That was a strange one. That was a bizarre yet curious way of looking at. You got into a fight at church at the church festival. I guess all things are possible. So, interesting. That is interesting. I guess we'll go here.
Number 3.
Giannis has now welcomed Adrian Griffin to the Bucks with an adorable photo. Giannis Antetokounmpo made his first statement today since the Milwaukee Bucks hired Adrian Griffin as the new head coach. The Bucks MVP shared a photo on Twitter and Instagram of his son and Griffin saying, "Welcome to the family, coach." Giannis has not publicly commented on the hire until now, but it's reported that he vouched for Griffin during his hiring process. And according to an NBA insider for Bleacher Report, Giannis met with Griffin during the interview process and vouched for him to become the next coach. Prior to being hired with the Bucks, Griffin had never been a head coach, but had been an assistant. Why y'all stressing that? Like, do y'all stress that when y'all hire white coaches? You talk about all the accolades and how great they are and all the things they've done and all the great things they do, blah, 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 blah. But then when it's us, all of a sudden, well, he's never been a coach before, so, we have to look at it. Yeah. You know what I say to that story? You ready? That's what I say to that story.
Number 2.
Well, ahead of today's vote, and we're still waiting to see whether or not the votes are going to come in regards to the shared revenue bill. The president of the Milwaukee Teachers Education Association is blasting the deal. The sweeping shared revenue deal includes a provision that says Milwaukee Public Schools will need to reinstate 25 Milwaukee Police School Resource Officers. And as it stands, Governor Evers said the deal provides $1 billion in new funding. Thomas More High School will see increase in vouchers, all those things. But the school board president, not the school board president, the teachers union president said there should be absolutely no support for private voucher schools with public taxpayer dollars. It's not a compromise. It's an attack specifically on the city of Milwaukee and the residents and our students. That doesn't make any sense. You're doing a pretty poor job with our kids, and now you want to tell us we can't use our money for what we want to use it for. You know what I say to the teachers union president? There you go. That's what I'm talking about.
Number 1.
Well, a jury found this past week, y'all not going to believe this, in favor of former Starbucks regional director Shannon Phillips, who sued the company for wrongfully firing her, claiming she was terminated for being white. Phillips, who worked for Starbucks for 13 years and managed a region of stores in the area, was fired after the arrest of 2 black men in Philadelphia Starbucks in April 2018. New Jersey jury returned a verdict of $25.6 million, including $25 million in punitive damages, $600 in compensatory damages, according to the Console Mariachi law firm, which represents Phillips. The jury ruled unanimously after a 6-day trial, the lawyer said, noting that Phillips will also be seeking back and front pay. Starbucks said it's disappointed in the decision and is evaluating its next steps. Their spokesperson, J.C. Anderson, told CNN. This week's verdict is the latest development in an incident that has sparked protests and outrage. In 2018, 2 men were asked to leave the coffee shop after sitting at a table without ordering anything. The men who declined to leave because they were waiting for a business associate were escorted out of the coffee shop in handcuffs after a store manager called the police. They later reached settlements with Starbucks and the city of Philadelphia. In the lawsuit first filed in 2019, Phillips said the company discriminated against her because of her race and she was let go. In 2019, the complaint said that following the arrest, Starbucks took steps to punish white employees who had not been involved in the arrest but who worked in and around the city of Philadelphia in an effort to convince the community that they had properly responded to the incident. Phillips, who at the time oversaw areas including Philadelphia, said that Starbucks had ordered her to place a white employee on administrative leave as part of these efforts due to alleged discriminatory conduct, which Phillips said she knew was inaccurate. After Phillips tried to defend the employee, the company let her go. The reason for the termination, according to the complaint, was that the situation is not recoverable. The complaint argued that this was a pretext for race discrimination, adding that Phillips' race was a motivating and or determinative factor in Starbucks' discriminatory treatment. Starbucks denied the claim at the time. 2021 court filings after the incident, senior leaders, members of the partner resources all observed her demonstrate a complete absence of leadership during this crisis. Well, now I guess she's got 25.6 million reasons, right? She's got 25.6 million reasons. Oh, wait a minute. She doesn't have 25.6 million reasons. I guess Starbucks has 25.6 million reasons to figure out what they're going to do.
The Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
June is National Home Ownership Month, where we promote the benefits of home ownership and recommit to creating opportunities for future homeowners. Tune into 1017 The Truth all month long, where you will get information and resources and hear interviews promoting home ownership in our community. At the core mission of National Home Ownership Month is the belief that every person deserves the chance to live with security, dignity, and hope in a place that they can call home. National Home Ownership Month on 1017 The Truth is presented by Axe Housing and BMO Harris Bank.
At UW Credit Union, our home loans have everything you need for your next big step, including up to $750 off closing costs for all home buyers. And first-time buyers can save even more. So if you're ready to trade roomies for more room, or your townhome for an out-of-town home, UW Credit Union will be with you from start to furnished. UW Credit Union. Apply online today. Equal housing lender. Credit may be limited as required by program. Visit uwcu.org for details.
It's time for Truth Takes, a thought-provoking commentary on the new 1017 The Truth. Here is Sherwin Hughes with his truth.
When surveyed, people who live in metro areas are concerned about one thing and almost one thing exclusively, and that's crime. Since the start of the COVID-19 pandemic, we have been concerned with violent crime. Teaming that up with warmer temperatures as summer approaches, the concerns are very real. Typically, violent crime is something that we associate with neighborhoods. But when violent crime hits downtown, its effects seem to be particularly pervasive. These are gathering places for social interaction. We want those places to be distinctly crime-free. Not to mention, when a criminal activity takes place in neighborhoods, it may not make the news, but if something happens downtown, then it will make the news every single night, therefore increasing the perception that violence downtown is actually on the uptick, when in fact, it is being reduced. Now, there are less people downtown because offices are not renewing their leases, and there's less white-collar workers that are going to work downtown every single day, which makes it seem like the prevalence of things like homelessness is actually on the increase when it is not. There's just less people downtown, making such prevalence even more apparent. To get crime under control, we have to be much more proactive, which it seems our Wisconsin legislature does not want to be. If we are able to make the necessary investments led by the people in the city of Milwaukee, we can make crime decrease in every single measurable category. Unfortunately, lock them up and throw away the key is not the way to go. We saw this with the 1994 crime bill, and lo and behold, 20 years later, we saw how incredibly and intensely racist that piece of legislation was. Because we're all very concerned about crime, let's not repeat the mistakes of the past and lock people up and throw away the key and think that is going to be the answer that we're all seeking.
This has been Truth Takes on the new 1017 The Truth. Listen to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes weekdays from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. I was just looking at a story about I'm almost reluctant to even say this. There's conflicting reports. We don't know where it stands, but earlier, I don't know if you remember, earlier this year, Tyler Perry expressed interest in purchasing a majority stake in BET Media from Paramount Global. He wasn't the only prominent black figure in entertainment exploring the possibility. Diddy was looking at it. Byron Allen was looking at it. And they were kind of looking at whether or not they wanted to. Anyway, fast forward a few months, and it appears that Tyler Perry's bid to own BET might actually be a reality. So there are Twitter comments that talk about Tyler Perry just made history as the first African American to buy two major television networks. And so he would own BET and VH1. And so a couple of different places have put that on Twitter. HBCU Premier Sports and More says that Tyler Perry just made history as the first black American to buy two major television networks for the first time in 21 years. BET is black owned again. And for the first time ever, VH1 is black owned. And that's from Culture Central. So we will see. But then maybe not. So a lot of publications are reporting that the deal has been finalized. It appears that those publications may have been spreading the news taken from a single source, the streamer, which apparently has since taken down its report of the matter. So we really don't know who owns it. Or does he? Suffice it to say, this update from news1.com has caused Black Twitter to, of course, blow up and celebrate before they actually have information. Unfortunately, that's something that a lot of people do before they verify what exactly is going on with something. So we're kind of in limbo again. We'll be sitting around trying to figure out, what's going on in Black Twitter. Got to see what's happening. I don't know. 833-212-1017 is the number. Let me check my talk and text line before I blow up. Now, that's unfortunate, Ben, because it's not hard to find people, right? Walking a square.
At all. It's not hard to find anyone these days. We got technology.
Yep. Yep. So it's just one of those things. Let me see. This is Freddie G. Oh no, I'm not doing that, dude. We don't do that. Oh, okay. Bet. All right, bet. All right. You see that in the talking text, Ben?
Oh yeah, it sounds like I can get some good food.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if they willing to feed us, I'm all with it. I'm gonna pull up for a plate.
Right. You see, it said Just for Truth Nation. So.
Just for Truth Nation.
Yeah, on the front line, us's,
or we's, or they's.
Not to be confused with dems and does.
But I like us's.
I like how people always talk about that being lazy English when in fact they have no semblance of understanding of linguistics. And it's a sub-language of English language that black people speak. Like if you speak Spanish and you go somewhere else in the country and they speak Spanish, you understand them. Black people speak. And we got mad when they called it Ebonics, but that's really what it is. You just put a name to the sub-language that we speak, and that's why you can understand what people are saying in San Francisco, Seattle, Vancouver, Canada, Florida, California. Like it's just a language. It's a sub-language. And you may call it lazy, but I call it love.
More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
On the Rocks Premium Cocktails offer modern twists on the classic cocktails. Developed by award-winning mixologists, the On the Rocks cocktails combine premium spirits and natural ingredients. Wherever you are, On the Rocks Premium Cocktails give you the convenience of bar-quality cocktails created with brands that you know and trust, like the Effin' Cosmopolitan and Hornitos Margarita. Pour over ice and enjoy. Please drink responsibly. On the Rocks ready-to-serve cocktails, 20 to 35% alcohol by volume.
They are our cuddlers and coworkers, purr machines and love bugs, and constant companions. They are our pets, our family, and they make life so much better. When we face unexpected challenges in life, so do our pets. That's why we're on a mission to support people who love their pets and the pets who love their people, ensuring these families stay exactly where they belong, together. And you have something to offer. With an open heart and mind, there is nothing you can't do. There's no gesture too small or too big when it comes to helping. Whether donating a bag of kibble, sharing an Instagram post of a lost cat, or welcoming a foster pet into your home, every bit of kindness counts. You can help keep pets and people together. Visit petsandpeopletogether.org to learn how to be a helper in your community. This has been a public service announcement brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
We need each other, now more than ever. Because every someone needs someone else.
We need each other, because when we work together, we can do so much more.
When we work together, we connect more children with what they need to grow up healthy, educated, and safe. And that's what Child Fund is all about.
Together, we co-create, support, and sustain connections that lead to greater well-being for millions of children facing poverty.
Which also benefits their families, their communities, their countries, and you.
Because when you make someone's world better, you make everyone's world better.
Child Fund. Because we need each other.
To learn how Child Fund works with children in 24 countries to achieve their full potential, visit childfund.org. That's childfund.org.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Starlight Children's Foundation brightens the lives of sick kids like my son Finn, who was born with congenital heart disease.
Learn more about Starlight by visiting starlight.org today.
For general contest rules, visit 1017thetruth.com.
Delays along southbound 41 and 894, all because of an accident south of Greenfield Avenue with the right lane blocked, so watch out for that. Heavy ride on westbound 94 from the Zoo interchange all the way through to about Calhoun. We have a broken down vehicle just west of Moreland Road. Eastbound, riding the brakes from Highway 100 all the way in through the stadium interchange. We do have an accident actually on the right shoulder, right at Mitchell Boulevard, so watch out for those delays as well. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, slight chance of a thunderstorm, a low of 60. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, hazy and smoky with a high of 67 at the lake, 74 inland. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 1017 The Truth.
This Associated Bank Sports Update on 1017 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Brandon Snine. The Green Bay Packers will resume their mandatory minicamp this afternoon up in Green Bay. The Packers looking to lean on new leaders in 2023. You can count on Aaron Jones as being one of them.
Lead this team, be a leader, and do whatever it takes to bring the team a championship. That's the end goal, bring the title back to Lambeau.
The Packers will wrap up minicamp later today and have a team bonding event scheduled for Thursday. To the NHL, where the Las Vegas Golden Knights have clinched the franchise's first ever Stanley Cup. This coming after defeating the Florida Panthers 9-3 in Game 5. The Knights going on to win the series 4-1. This sports update is brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Yo, this is Queen Latifah, bringing a song to you about a place you might live. In case you don't understand, it's called New Jack City.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris, 833-212-1017 is the number. So everybody hanging out downtown at, they got the street shut down, and they doing all the food from 2nd to 4th on Wisconsin Avenue. Folk walking through the avenue, all sorts of things that are going on. And so it's kind of pretty cool. It's kind of pretty cool. You kind of see people that you've never seen before that are walking through and looking around and trying to find what's going on. So, interesting. From CBS 58, food trucks, a common staple around the city of Milwaukee, got new rules. Mayor Cavalier Johnson signed legislation today to ensure food trucks are safe and enjoyable for everyone. Well, what does that mean? It's been a heated debate between food truck operators in the city for months, and today the city hopes to replace what they call a patchwork of rules and regulations for food trucks with uniform citywide ordinance. So it was a day of celebration at Red Arrow Park with dozens of food trucks lining Water Street. Mayor Cavalier Johnson signed a new multi-part food truck ordinance putting into place to create law and order for the way food trucks conduct their business. The change will be the creation of 2 new designated food truck zones. Zone 1 is the heart of downtown Milwaukee along West Town and the 3rd Ward, and under the ordinance, trucks operating in Zone 1 cannot operate between 1 a.m. and 6 a.m. Zone 2 primarily limits how many trucks can be parked on a busy stretch along West Burnham Street on the city's south side. And so since I don't really run a food truck or understand the nature of that particular business, it's interesting to see They're talking about the fact one of the truck owners and restaurant owners says, what's his name? Abdallah Ismail said, who owns Fatty Patty burger trucks and a restaurant, says today is a good thing that we have this kind of legislation that will control more of the area, honestly, than before. It's not just time and location food truck operators have to consider now. They can also be fined between $500 and $500 if they, depending if they're found to be a nuisance. And the citywide ordinance goes into effect immediately. So you don't even have time to actually like adjust your day or figure out what you're going to do about it. It went into law when he signed it. So that's something that we have to look at. 833-212-1017 is the number. Sandra, you're on the new 1017 The Truth.
Hi, Dr. Ken.
Hey, Sandra, how are you?
Trying to weigh in.
Yeah, what's going on?
Just fine.
What's going on? What's on your mind?
The same old thing. I'm just walking around in circles, and I went over to the beer garden for a minute and took my little doggy to get her little shots. And I was running around like a chicken. You know how that goes.
Well, I hope you're running around like a chicken with his head cut off, or just running around like a chicken?
Not with the head. I didn't say the head.
Okay. I
just got my head on.
All right, I was just checking.
No, I don't want to see one of those because I used to see those in the South when I was visit.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I had an aunt, she would chop the neck off and throw it in the barrel. And that chicken would jump around. I felt so sorry for it. I said, whoosh. But they were tough because I could never do that.
But wasn't that involuntary?
Though?
Isn't that like an involuntary reaction because your brain isn't operating your body anymore? So.
Yeah. So I guess they don't feel no pain. They even say, what is it, the lobsters when you drop them in the hot water?
Yeah.
Some of them try to say they don't feel pain, but you got other people say they do because they squeak when they hit that hot water like that.
Wouldn't anybody?
So I would think so. They say they don't feel pain, but I think so. I even think that chicken feel. I know it's probably the reflex that's afterwards, but they had to feel pain with the neck chopped off.
Yeah, that's true. So let me ask you this.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Do you believe the old adage that if you put something in water and you turn up the fire slowly, that it'll boil to death?
If you start something slowly and keep it on,
and then you turn it. You know how they say, like, if you put something in boiling water and you turn it up slowly, then it'll come to a boil and people won't feel it. Not people, but whatever won't. And so I looked that up and I found out that that's actually not true. That if you turn up the fire slowly, you'll notice it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's always people always say that it's a slow boil, and yeah.
Nah.
Interesting.
Yeah, no, I think you feel that. Yes, there's no way you can't.
So, are you gonna pay the 2% tax?
I guess if that's what they want. I mean, if that's what they passed the bill, it's such a big controversy over it. I kind of don't really like. The way Bob has got that little smirky little look on his face, he's just up to the devil. You can tell he's up to the devil. Because he's saying it's for pensions and police, but nobody's saying how they want to fix the city up.
Well, that's not his job.
Not one bit.
That ain't his job.
Well, somebody got to come through, stop taking our money, then we take and pull our own money together, we fix our own city up. Since they want us to do everything now, we can't get the approval from them. We can take our own money, pull it together. Then they get jealous. Time you start moving ahead, they get real jealous. Oh, they're doing better than me. We can have a paradise over here. Yeah, and then you won't have to need police.
You can always need police. Come on now, Sandra.
Well, what I'm saying is you won't need as much violence. Just basically, I should call it the way it is. You won't see as much violence as you see. To me. No, if you
let me ask you a question, Sandra.
Well, look, in the suburbs, you don't see it.
Yeah, you do.
Go ahead.
Sandra, you read the Bible?
Yeah.
You read the Bible?
No, I don't.
Okay. Did you ever go to church?
All the time.
Who was standing in front of Jesus as he was being
Crucified?
Yeah.
I thought the criminals.
Centurions were standing there, right? Guards?
I don't know. I never really checked it out. I even watched the movie, Ten Commandments and all that.
Those were cops. Centurions.
Oh, okay.
So no matter what, they've been around forever because we've been being a knucklehead forever. So you ain't gonna never not need the police.
Oh, I'm not. You won't need as many. They won't have
you
to
ain't got as many now. Stop this. Oh, Sandra.
They won't have to fear for their life.
If y'all
acted,
if you just acted right, come on now.
No, that ain't me.
If you act right, you need less police.
I told you I was at Beer Garden. Okay. I'm enjoying my life. I was at Beer Garden, crossing my legs, walking my dog.
Okay.
I ain't got no problem with enjoying life.
All right.
You just got too much activities here. You know, the drugs and all of that. They know they're down there. And I'm going to tell you because I sent the picture to Tori. I sent him that picture. So I sent it to you, too. I think I did. So you can see this mess. But, no, I just called to say I have a happy your days off and enjoy.
Thank you, ma'am.
And I hope to see you at Summerfest.
No, you will not. No, you will not see me at Summerfest. No, ma'am.
Oh, you won't be at Summerfest? Okay.
No, ma'am.
I'll see Benjamin.
Yes, you will.
Right? Okay, then I'm going down.
You know his new name is Jen Bammon now, right? We call him Jen Bammon.
Oh.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Okay, dude.
All right, take care.
Talk to you next round. Okay, when you get back. Okay. Bye-bye.
833-212-1017 is the number. I'm going to go on and squeeze her in. I don't know if am I saying it right? Mia? You're the new 1017 The Truth.
Hi, Dr. Ken. Yes, you said it right. Thank you for taking my call. To the previous caller, yes, I do think that the sales tax is necessary for our city. It's been low for a while. But anyway, that wasn't my comment. My comment was on what you were talking about in regards to the food truck.
Okay.
I don't own a food truck, and again, like you, I don't know exactly how that works, but I find it funny that the law for them would go into effect right away and they feel like they don't have to give them notice. But when it comes to these stolen cars and towing people's cars for being illegally parked, we gave them 30 days.
Yep.
Which I thought was absolutely ridiculous.
Yep.
Like, I'm a person who believes, because I used to work for parking enforcement as a temp for 2 years.
Okay.
And so I know how that works with, like, if they have more than 2 tickets, you can legally tow a person if they're illegally parked, all that kind of stuff.
That's right.
I said from the beginning, we should do a massive tow operation across the city. If your car is not registered and you have tickets, it's getting towed, period, point blank, end of story. You know, and just imagine how many stolen vehicles we will find on top of that.
Absolutely.
Probably faster. So I just think it's funny that for food trucks, something like that, you're hard-nosing that particular law, but with these stolen vehicles and this reckless driving, you're tiptoeing around it like, oh, if it's not more than 25 miles an hour, then it's not considered reckless, or if, you know...
But wait. That's always been the law. That's always been the law. Reckless is 25 miles and over, so...
Yeah.
But that's what makes it a crime. That makes it a crime, and you can be arrested.
Right, but we know, Dr. Ken, they aren't really enforcing. I live on 39th and Capitol, so I'm in the heart. I deal with the reckless driving and the police chases down my block all the time.
Yes, you do.
I also deal with the fact that our insurance has gone up $134 because of reckless driving when we have not gotten any tickets, had any accidents, or any of that. So between our homeowners insurance increasing like $50 and then our car insurance just went up $134, it's because of where we live.
Yep.
You know,
redline. It seems like redlining is back without really making it redlining. They're actually creating a natural. I probably shouldn't call it redlining because the insurance company isn't doing anything wrong. We're creating the people that live there to pay more because of what we're doing.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep. And it isn't fair. We're all, you know, feeling a pinch, but it does seem like the people who carry insurance and the people who are doing the right things and the people who are licensed and the people who are registering their vehicles and all that kind of stuff, they end up, basically being penalized for doing the right thing. So,
all right. Well, thank you much. I appreciate the call.
Have a good one, Dr.
All right. Take care. 833-212-1017 is the number. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon.
You are listening to Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
The award-winning 1017 The Truth is proud to celebrate Milwaukee's 52nd annual Juneteenth celebration. Our Truth Street team will be in full effect as we will be riding clean in our Truth vehicle during the parade, and we will be handing out Truth swag to all who come by and say hi to their favorite award-winning hosts. 1017 The Truth Street team at Juneteenth is sponsored by UW Credit Union, here for every you.
June is National Home Ownership Month, and only 25% of African Americans in the city of Milwaukee own their homes, despite the fact that we make up 40% of the population. At the core mission of National Home Ownership Month is the belief that every person deserves the chance to live with security, dignity, and hope in a place that they can call home. That is why the award-winning 1017 The Truth is proud to announce our first annual home buying seminar on Wednesday, June 14th, presented by Axe Housing and BMO Harris Bank. Axe Housing will have real estate agents, home buying coaches, and mortgage advisors on site to break down the home buying process step by step. Axe Housing will have professionals there who can do a soft credit pull to review your credit history and to get you pre-approved for a home loan on the spot. Yes, on the spot home loan pre-approvals. Limited spots are available, so go to 1017thetruth.com right now to secure your space. That's 1017thetruth.com to sign up for the Home Buyer Seminar on Wednesday, June 14th at 5 p.m., presented by Axe Housing and BMO Harris Bank.
Wisconsin is as hard-working of a place as you'll ever find. There's a sense of pride, community, and work ethic that's second to none. People here are tough, but even the toughest among us need help after a serious accident. At Gruber Law Offices, we won't stop fighting for you and your family. We've been here and will continue to be here for as long as you need us. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Ludacris. Back again. The Wisconsin State Fair welcomes Ludacris. Friday, August 11th, 7:30 p.m. at the State Fair main stage, presented by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Get out the way, but how low can you go? Ludacris with special guest Simba. Reserve seats on sale now at wistatefair.com. Wisconsin State Fair, presented by U.S. Cellular. Ludacris.
Educators Credit Union is dedicated to celebrating the cultures, heritages, nationalities, ethnicities, and languages of their members and employees. To honor this diversity, Educators Credit Union recognizes the achievements, culture, and histories of different communities all year. This month, Educators Credit Union is proud to celebrate Juneteenth and honor this historic day. To learn more about Educators Credit Union, visit ECU.com. Membership is open to anyone who lives or works in southeastern Wisconsin. Federally insured by NCUA.
You are listening to Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. That is true, though. But, you know, we have a mayor who looks to business, it seems, first. You know, things that are helpful to business seem to be instantly, you know, Mia kind of had it right. Instant. Oh, it's when I sign it into law, it's instant. Reckless driving, oh, we'll give people 30 days and they'll get time to wait and tear up the city and do, yeah. Under the guise of we're doing a disservice and the police are an occupying force, but then when the police are not an occupying force, the neighborhood is in turmoil. There's garbage everywhere. They're speeding. So then what do? What about the tax-paying people who pay taxes, who have homes and apartment buildings and rental property, who want it to be safe? This is foreign to me because growing up in Chicago, I literally walked from downtown all the way home to the south side. So I always found that strange and odd that I was able to do that. And even here, when I moved here in 93, it was relatively, peaceful, relatively quiet. So I don't really understand why that particular thing happened that way, but, it is what it is. And now it's changed completely, but yet we're not doing anything that's going to enable people to be able to be safe. But if we're not having the police come in, then who does it? I don't understand. 833-212-1017 is the number. I don't really understand how that works. I don't really get it. But then again, nobody asked me. So, So yeah, I'm taking some much needed time off. I'm taking some chill time, hang out with the family, go do some things. As I look through things that are happening in the city and things that are affecting the city. I'm looking at West Politics where they talk about home sales in Greater Milwaukee are down 21%. 21.1% over the year in May, continuing a trend seen throughout the part of the first year. And that's weird because last month in Milwaukee, Waukesha, Ozaukee, and Washington counties, we sold 1,574, whereas last year this time we sold almost 2,000 at 1995. So it's starting to slow down. Report also shows average prices were 1.6% higher over the year, rising from an average of $367,000 to $373,000. So when you really think about it, it's becoming more and more expensive. So for me, it's better to sell and not buy. Maybe I can trade, do something like that. I don't know. But those are the types of things we as a community have to keep looking at. It's not a balanced market. And anytime soon, they talk about the fact that new home construction continues to be outpaced by buyer demand. So there's more buying, people who want to buy than there are homes available. So if you own a house, that might be the time to, roll out. That might be the time to say, But then if you want to buy, is now the time to buy? Maybe move into an apartment. Like I'm not the real estate guru, so that's just my opinion. But as you look at it, we have to start recognizing that things are starting to slow down. Inflation wasn't as high as we thought, and the Fed didn't raise the rates, so we're doing pretty good. I think we're kind of holding our own, hanging out, and we'll see how that flies, but I don't know. We got to make sure we take care of the neighborhood, make sure this is a safe summer. Homicides are down. Crime has ticked up just a touch, but we're holding it down. And I think if we keep up the cleanup, like with Tory Lowe, and do some things in the community with the Truth Family Fest coming up and Juneteenth and Summer Fest, I think all those things will work out great. And we'll be right here with you to talk about it and live through it. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. Tory Lowe Show is coming up next. I will not be back in 22 hours because I will be chilling at a undisclosed place. with family, friends, and just relaxing this summer. God bless. Take care. Ben, appreciate you, brother. Benjamin.
It's amazing.
I'm out. Summerfest is back, and the new 101.7 The Truth has got you covered with free tickets. Tune in to Truth in the Afternoon all week long, as I will be giving away a free 4-pack of tickets to Summerfest. Yes, you heard that right. They're absolutely free. Make sure you tune in to 101.7 The Truth from 4 to 6 p.m. so you don't miss your chance to win a free 4-pack of tickets to Milwaukee's biggest summer party. Summerfest is presented by our founding partner, American Family Insurance.
Need a way to hype up your day? What would you do with $5,000?
That's what I'm talking about. Hey, you got five.
Hey, y'all just saved my life. Hey, I just started a program from some young people. I needed this.
Stay tuned into 101.7 The Truth for your chance to be entered into the Gruber Law Office's 5K giveaway.
Hey, you got that
I've been waiting for you to call me.
Hey. For contest rules, visit 1017thetruth.com.
Sometimes I just cannot believe all the storms we've gone through here.
I can only hope that we'll be able to leave this house to you one day, baby. You're our legacy.
Planning for these disasters will make sure we're safe, and is the best way to protect that legacy. You know what? We should make an emergency communication plan. That way we're ready this year. At my dorm, we have emergency kits for earthquakes and wildfires, but I'm sure there's something more local. I can send you with a link.
Okay.
Smart.
Protect your legacy. Visit ready.gov/plan for the tools and tips you need to start your emergency preparedness plan today. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Do you worry about how much someone drinks?
Do you feel angry or depressed most of the time? Do you feel neglected or unloved?
Do you feel you attract people who tend to be compulsive or abusive?
Do you have money problems because of someone else's drinking?
Are you afraid or embarrassed to bring your friends home?
Do you feel that if the drinker loved you, she or he would stop drinking?
If you answered yes to any of these questions, you are not alone.
More than half of all adults have a family history of alcoholism.
Not everyone trapped by alcohol is an alcoholic.
Families and friends are suffering too. Al-Anon and Alateen can help. Call 1-866-200-0223 or visit alanon.org/help.
You're listening to the new 101.7 The Truth, founded in partnership with Associated Bank. Your money works here. 101.7 FM, 1510 AM. This is your 101.7 The Truth News Update.
Hi, everyone. I'm Melanie Ricks with your news update. Milwaukee police are investigating a shooting that left a 20-year-old man dead this morning. Officials said that the shooting stemmed from a robbery near 35th and Concordia that happened around 6:40 a.m. The victim was taken to an area hospital where he died of his injuries. Milwaukee police continue to seek unknown suspects. Anyone with information is asked to contact Milwaukee police at 414-935-7360. To remain anonymous, you can call Crime Stoppers at 414-224-TIPS. The Milwaukee Night Market returns to downtown tonight for the summer. The free outdoor event puts the excitement right in the center of downtown with food trucks, local pop-up shops, and entertainment. West Wisconsin Avenue will be closed between 2nd Street and Bellar Phillips Avenue from 10 a.m. until 11 p.m. today for setup and tear down. The Milwaukee Night Market brings local, diverse artists, restaurateurs, and crafters together from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. Plus, there will be a performance in the center of the market at the top of every hour. Tonight, that includes DJ Stretch, DJ Oshi, and Bembe Drum and Dance. The night market will return to the same location on July 19th, August 16th, and September 13th this season. In a unique celebration of local talent, Milwaukee's Brady Street Business Improvement District and Brett Waterhouse of Grove Gallery have teamed up to host the Brady Street Art Walk. Scheduled for this Saturday, June 17th, the Art Walk's hours will be between noon and 4 p.m. Artists stationed along Brady Street sidewalks will create and sell their art amidst a relaxed atmosphere and are encouraged to grab a meal or a drink. There will also be activities for children as well. For more details on the Brady Street Art Walk, you can visit bradystreet.org. This was the news update on 1017 The Truth. The Tori Lowe Show is next here on the new 1017 The Truth.
We need each other.
That's facts.
I need my sisters. I need my brothers out here.
A coward dies 1,000 deaths, and for all the bootlickers, may you die 1,001.
The place for the realest conversations.
Tori Lowe want all the action, or you want all the smoke? I'm with all that smoke too, man.
I didn't see Ron Johnson. He trash. Chisholm is trash. How the hell you here to help us and your kids are dying in the street?
I understand that this is Milwaukee and everyone believes that if someone say something, it's snitching. It's not.
I don't care if it's the pastor. If you see the pastor ain't acting right, you check that fool. Where's the results?
Talking topics that need to be highlighted and discussed in our communities.
Would you trade places with a black person?
Sure, no, I would not.
Have you ever said the N-word? Come on, be the truth. We on the truth.
Unfiltered and unfazed. This is the Tori Lowe Show on 1017 The Truth and The Truth app.
The reason I believe the racism is getting worse is because whites know that they will be outnumbered in about 20 to 21 years. They're going to be outnumbered.
Hey, Tori, man. How are you doing, brother? I'm actually from India. We brown people can totally relate with you. Sometimes it's like, did that just happen to me?
We have to not let the government mind us either.
That cop ain't never been brought to the public because he ain't normal, and he may not even exist no more.
Say no more. Release the video.
You know, you keep on doing what you're doing, man. You're going to take over this talk radio, man. Just keep on focusing on what you're focusing on. I wish you a lot of love.
God bless you, brother.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio in Milwaukee, here is Tori Lowe.
We need each other.
That's facts.
I need my sisters. I need my brothers out here.
Justice Wisconsin, the truth. The most requested advocate in the state. 101.7 FM. The movement continues. Yeah. Milwaukee, stand up. Yeah. It's Tory Lowe, the truth. From 1 to 4, we about that action, so tap in and let's go. We want that justice, we want all the smoke. From Monday through Friday, trying to bring the city hope. Yeah. Tory Lowe from 1 to 4, Monday through Friday, let's go. We bout that action from the block, and we ready, let's go. Tap in, and it ain't no holding back. We ready. 101.7 The Truth. Tory Lowe Show, live from American Family Insurance Studio downtown at the Avenue, and I'm here for the action.
And nothing but that action.
And I want all the smoke.
Who wants the smoke today?
Salute to my brothers and sisters on the front lines. The movement continues.
The marathon continues.
How you doing, DJ Brother Z?
It's Wednesday.
How y'all doing out there in Radio Land? Truth Nation. I thank you for joining me this Wednesday, June 14, 2023. Look, yesterday the lines was down.
And
so
they back working.
So we may have to run yesterday's conversation back. Well, not the whole conversation, but at least the topic of what are y'all Republicans that's supporting Trump. I need y'all to chime in on what's going on with Trump. Also, some information came out about your boy Joe Biden. Your boy Joe Biden and his son, they have recordings from a national about dealings, maybe illegal dealings with Ukraine. But we're going to talk about it. Look, if y'all, look, I'm telling you, it's a lot going on. But before we get into all of that, it's some things that I've been seeing about these UFOs. Now, I know DJ Brother Z and Ben Jammin, I know they believe in UFOs. I know they believe in that. But I'm just saying, these are some of the news headlines. And I think that many times when we see stuff about UFOs, we gotta see what we're not seeing. Because to me, in my personal opinion, when they start putting UFOs out there, it's something that they trying to distract us from. So I was watching this video where they said that this UFO was in somebody's backyard. And I'm watching the video, and it's in Spanish. Some Spanish people. But they was looking through the gate, and, I couldn't tell where they said they saw the alien. You know what I mean? So they said it was in the tractor. They circled, like it was somebody paused it. If you look at the comments, somebody paused it, screenshotted it, and stuck it in the comments, right? So I'm looking to see what they looking at. And this is what I don't like about UFOs, the whole UFO thing. It's not really clear. It's never really clear. It's always an assumption. It's always you have to believe what the person is saying, right? And then it's always a level of fear. Like in the video, they were scared. Like, oh, something fell in my backyard. But okay, this happened. It's the next day. Where the UFO at? If it fell in your yard, where are the pieces at? Where are the footprints at? Look, where the slime on the steering wheel? You know what I mean? Like it's the ectoplasm. I'm just saying. I mean, this is why I don't like when people talk about UFOs, because anything could be an unidentified flying object. I remember when Grandma threw a shoe at me. That was an unidentified flying object. When I was not listening to her, she threw the shoe at me. It missed. But that could have been considered something unidentified flying at my head. I'm just saying, when you say UFO, it doesn't mean alien. Because with all these drones out here, with all these different things going on out here, it's people that got drones that look like spaceships. I got a few friends that use drones. I mean, and they got the lights that spin, and at night, if you don't know it's a drone, you might look up in the sky and be like, look at that spaceship. Because you too broke to afford one of them drones. Them drones cost a couple $1,000s. You can't afford it. You can't even imagine. You didn't get enough of your PPP loan to even afford this drone. So it's drones that's supersized drones, and they got the lights on the bottom, and they could be flying around right now. Everybody got some drones right now. So you can't say it's just stuff in the sky and expect me to believe it's an alien behind it. And you telling me that these people, okay, these beings from another planet coming in our spaces, and they're afraid of us. If they highly intelligent, they can just zap us. If they got all this equipment, all this advanced technology, why they scared of us? Look, I'm not gonna believe in aliens. I know DJ Brother Z, I know how you feel about it. I know how Ben Jammin feel about it. But if it's an alien, until I see an alien in handcuffs, till I see an alien like, real, until I shake an alien hand, I just can't believe they just out here floating around in the sky and just scared of us and hiding in people's backyards messing with a tractor. You telling me you came all the way from another planet to go in somebody's backyard to use a tractor? You could have went to Home Depot. You didn't have to do it. You could have, you know what I'm saying? It don't make no sense. So I'm watching these videos, things falling out the sky, things passing by the camera. Oh, that's an unidentified flying object. That might be that ain't no alien. That's a rock. It looked like a pebble. This stuff is just wired up. I'm telling you, they trying to get us ready for something because it's all this UFO talk in the midst of Trump, Biden, the shot. What else? What else going on out here that Juneteenth ain't even a federal holiday that you can get paid for in the state of Wisconsin. You can't even get paid on the day off for Juneteenth. It's a federal holiday, but it ain't a paid holiday. Then they got the tax hike coming to Milwaukee. They got to vote on it. The sales tax is about to go up, but they talking about UFOs. I wouldn't be surprised if this Milwaukee say on the day of the vote, on the day when they start voting, that a UFO came through the city to keep y'all distracted because they about to hike the taxes up. Remember the Milwaukee lion? Remember that they said it was a lion roaming through the hood? We never found the lion. This was like a couple years back, like 2016, 2015. I should bring that article back up. Y'all think I'm playing? They said that it was a lion in the hood roaming around. Now you never heard if they found the lion. The lion just roaming through the block. This was on the news for a couple days. And I'm wondering what that distraction was because nobody ever saw the lion. It was just weird reports of lions flying around. Not flying around, running around the streets in the north side. If it was a lion on the north side, it would have been on, we would have got that lion on camera. We'd have pulled out the iPhone and got it on camera. But what I'm trying to say, hold on, one more thing before we go to this video, this UFO video. One more thing. You got the lion video?
And the UFO video.
Okay, let's, first of all, before we get to the UFO video, let's play the lion that was walking through the hood. This was a couple years ago.
This don't look normal.
Isaiah Hare got an alert to his phone on the morning of January 1st. Something went by a security camera outside his home. After reviewing the footage,
people gonna say it's like a regular house cat, and I was like, I seen house cats on my camera before, and they didn't seem that long, that tall.
It walked slowly through his backyard near 41st and Capitol.
Certainly bigger than normal. That's not a cat.
Some people that live on the street thinking back to this video that went viral in July of 2015, a possible mountain lion sighting in Milwaukee's Brewers Hill neighborhood. Both the DNR and police investigated. but the animal was never captured or identified.
Oh my God, for real? It's another big cat out here.
Aisha Crawford says after seeing the most recent surveillance video, she's worried it's not your average alley cat.
I watch Animal Planet all the time. That's off the TV.
Now the camera can make things look bigger than they are. An example, my phone up close and me sitting back here. From this angle over here, clearly we're not the same size. So as for the video of the cat, it remains up for debate. In Milwaukee, Ben Hutchinson.
Look, and then they said, and it was people was making memes about this thing going through the neighborhood, the mountain lion. And nobody ever saw it or found it. So, but this was on the news. So to me, when I see this type of stuff like aliens and weird things going on and you don't really see the hardcore evidence, I'm really wondering what they're trying to distract us from. That's just me. That's just me. But let's listen to this latest UFO situation.
Just before midnight on April 30th, skywatchers across several western states saw a bright fireball streak through the heavens. A police officer working in the Northwest Valley caught a glimpse of the colorful object on his body cam. At nearly the same time, a Ring camera in the area recorded a strange noise and what sounds like a crash. One family living in a ranch-style home had a much closer view of the object. Two brothers and their father were working on a vehicle in their yard when they caught a glimpse of a sparkly object as it came crashing down, then were hit by what they describe as a shock wave. One of the witnesses, a young man named Angel, has stated when the brothers looked into the yard where the object landed, that spot was obscured and blurry, as if by unknown form of camouflage. What they saw next prompted a frantic call to 911.
So there's two people or two subjects that are in your backyard?
Correct, and they're very large. They're like 8 foot, 9 feet, 10 foot. I don't know. They look like aliens to us. Big eyes. They have big eyes, like I can't explain it. And big mouth. They're shiny eyes, and they're not human. They're 100% they're not human.
8 News Now investigators have spoken with family members multiple times in the past 4 weeks, but each of the 3 times we accepted their invitation to do an interview, they didn't answer the door or their phone. These are some of the claims they've made in other public forums. Multiple family members backed up the story in an initial police report we obtained. Angel says they heard the patter of multiple feet in the yard. They later heard footsteps on their roof. They saw one of the 8-foot-tall creatures climb behind the controls of a large front loader stored in the yard as if trying to engage it. He got a good look at one of the creatures, he said, a greenish-grayish being with large eyes and long legs. He says he could hear its deep breaths, and when he locked eyes, he was, in essence, frozen in place, couldn't move. In the middle of the yard, where the object had crashed, then vanished, a circular impression was left in the soil.
Okay, where is this on your property?
Metro sources say the police dispatcher initially wondered whether to send a crisis intervention team to help the troubled witness, but then took the incident seriously. 2 officers arrived 38 minutes after the call, and by then had heard from other officers. They proceeded cautiously and managed some nervous laughs.
I ain't dealing with that.
A few days later, the family says 2 Metro sergeants returned to the scene to ask follow-up questions. The family says they also saw men in suits and sunglasses driving in a car with government plates cruising slowly past the house in the following days. Nellis and Creech have denied any interest or involvement with the incident. Metro has indicated they believe the family that something crashed in their yard. But what?
Someone else has access to it. You know, you mentioned, George, in that piece that, you know,
I don't know. Can you say tequila? I'm just saying. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Hey, I understand. You know, I got some friends that when I was in a rock band that was using drugs that make you hallucinate. And they saw stuff that when they described to me sounded like it came off Mario Brothers. You know, Luigi going down one of them pipes or something like that. I don't know. We're going to open up the lines. I mean, I know some people will say, okay, we're not the only life form on the planet.
We can't be.
But, I mean, and there may be some stuff out there. I mean, I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying you're going to travel all the way to Earth to go in somebody's backyard and play with a tractor? No, I just don't. I ain't buying that. But look, when we come back, we're going to have more discussion. Truth Nation, stay locked in right here on Tory Lowe.
And that's Tori Lowe bringing you all the action and all the smoke.